In reading from the letter of St. Paul to the Galatians, brothers and sisters, it is written that Abraham had two sons, one by the slave woman and the other by the free-born woman. The son of the slave woman was born naturally, the son of the free-born through a promise. Now this is an allegory. These women represent two covenants. One was from Mount Sinai, bearing children for slavery. This is Abraham. But the Jerusalem above is freeborn, and she is our mother. For it is written, "Rejoice, you barren one who bore no children. Break forth and shout, you who were not in labor. For more numerous are the children of the deserted one than of her who has a husband." Therefore, brothers and sisters, we are children not of the slave women, but of the free-born women. For freedom Christ set us free, so stand firm, and do not submit again to the yoke of slavery. The word of the Lord.
Thanks be to God.
Responsorial Psalm. Blessed be the name of the Lord forever.
Blessed be the name of the Lord forever.
Praise your servant of the Lord. Praise the name of the Lord. Blessed be the name of the Lord, both now and forever. Blessed be the name of the Lord forever. From the rising to the setting of the sun is the name of the Lord to be praised. High above all nations is the Lord. Above the heaven is his glory. Blessed be the name of the Lord forever. Who is like the Lord our God, who looks upon the heavens and the earth below? He raises up the lowly from the dust. From the dunghill he lifts up the poor. Blessed be the name of the Lord forever. Alleluia, alleluia.
Alleluia, alleluia.
If today you hear his voice, harden not your hearts. Alleluia, alleluia.
Good morning. On the second full day of my sisters and I taking our New England foliage tour, God blessed me with acute bronchitis. And so I'm still recovering from it. And for those of you who've had bronchitis, you know it's terribly hard to breathe, especially when you're moving and walking. So I'm moving quite slowly at this point in life's journey. As I was praying through the scriptures, though, they happily took my mind off my plight, because the gospel does speak about conversion, repentance, and the willingness of God to forgive. And Jesus laments and says, "This is an evil generation." The first thing that struck me was, I live in an evil generation. Every person lives in an evil generation. We're all sinners. Our lives have been touched by it, we have been hurt by it, and we have hurt others by it. No one of us lives apart from an evil generation. And then Jesus goes on and speaks about two figures who experienced God's forgiveness. The first were the people of Nineveh, who at the preaching of Jonah repented and found forgiveness. Jonah, if you know the story, was not happy. He was not happy at all. Here were their detested enemies And God chose to love and forgive them. An especially poignant scene in that book, God laments to Jonah and says, "Should I not have pity on this city that has over 120,000 people, not counting cattle and animals?" I mean, God's heart was moved with compassion for the terrible people of Nineveh. They repented, and God extended mercy. And the other example Jesus uses is the queen who comes from the south, another foreigner who embraces the wisdom, the love, the mercy of God. And that's the great message against every evil generation. Sin is real, but so too is God's love, God's eagerness, God's willingness to forgive. And as I thought about that, I couldn't help but think of a song we sing here at church quite often. I'm not sure of the name, but I think it's Loving and Forgiving. It goes, "Loving and forgiving are you, O God, slow to anger, rich in kindness, loving and forgiving are you." In the face of sin, there is something we can do. We can trust this God who's loving and forgiving.